What up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. Today's episode is, as always, brought to you by Off the Record. We love Off the Record, and you guys too. A few of our patrons hit us up recently and said Off the Record really saved their backsides when they got pulled over for allegedly doing some things they shouldn't have been doing. Off the Record is a service that connects you with local qualified attorneys who will fight your case in court if needed. They'll negotiate with the prosecutor, do all the things. So when you go to offtherecord.com/TST, all you have to do is include a photo or scan of your ticket, a brief description of what happened in your own words, and Off the Record will set it up from there. Don't plead guilty. Get Off the Record. I'm telling you, I hear every week from folks who listen to our show and get Off the Record, and they get their backsides saved. So do it. offtherecord.com/TST for 10% off all legal services with Off the Record. All right, on today's show, Zach and I give our review of the BMW M5. Although, before we get to that, I must say that it is possible our car was broken and they will be sending us another one next week. We also drove the 715 horsepower flat six motorsports Carrera T. It was quite nuts, and we talk about that. But first, I suspect my neighbor has been hit by the Kia boys. It's the Smoking Tire Podcast. Let's go.
Did I tell you that when I saw Blues Traveler, they came out to America, fuck yeah, and I started like shout singing it, and Sarah's stepdad was like looking at me like, what song is this?
Oh.
And I was yeah.
That's something, that's so funny. We're now removed enough from that movie that you will confuse people if you're enthusiastic about that song, like play. Like if you're in like a town, let's say we're on a shoot somewhere, in a small town in a state that maybe we're not familiar with, and we go to a bar with one of those jukeboxes, and you throw on America Fuck Yeah. A few people will understand what you're doing and laugh. Like when Thad read the Fast and the Furious speech at my wedding. Yeah. It's exactly like 10% will be like, I see what you did there. And then a bunch of other people will be like, wait, what is this? What have I missed? Is this a new Toby Keith song? Like,
100%.
what is this? And then it'll turn into, eventually, it might become Born in the USA.
Right. It very much could.
Or Fortunate Son, or like.
Because I don't know what the second verse is, but like the chorus is right up a lot of people's alley right now.
I mean, the whole song is about America being the bad guy.
Coming to save the motherfucking day.
Yeah, about America's being the bad guy. But like, we regularly find out that people don't really know what like Born in the USA is about or things like that. Anyway, hi everybody. It's already been a day for me. I filmed 3 cars this morning. I'm back to my like one take days, except now it's for Bring a Trailer.
Oh, that's what you did this morning. I was like, what'd you do?
Yeah, I had to film.
Yeah,
I had to do a walk around and drive videos with a very nice Panamera Turbo, a E63 wagon, and a supercharged E92 M3. The Panamera would be like the sickest daily for somebody. It's got like 118,000 miles on it, but it's really nice shape, and it's like the most unbelievable yacht. I think it might literally be yachting blue with like a cream, like a light cream and blue interior. Like this thing is, it is specced out exactly like one would spec out a boat. It must have matched the first owner's boat.
Right.
Yeah. There's a
picture
sick.
Somewhere of them parked on the dock next to the boat.
It's fucking slick. Debadged as well. So it's kind of sleepy. It's nice. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, super sleepy.
Those are nice.
Yeah, they're cool. So that's what I've done today. We're getting ready to go leave for Texas tomorrow. So it's like, this is, I don't know, for me, the day before any trip. But for some reason this week, like, it's just a shit show of like, I have to tie every loose end before I leave.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be problematic.
Yeah. It's the final push. Mm-hmm. And you have to take care of other business things too.
Yeah. So. And when you have like multiple jobs and the jobs are like, yeah, they're car jobs or whatever, but they're not the same thing. Like, I have to like finish a road and track column that I'm doing about an electric motorcycle today, or electric motorcycles in general. I have to like we have to do this, what we're doing right now. I had to do those 3 videos. The second we finish this, I have a team meeting downstairs. I have my trainer because I can't I have to train the day before we leave because we won't train. And then after that, I have to do like a 3-car shuttle this afternoon and then pack. And like it's like do.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of
At
things.
the end of the day, you go, I did so much.
I did so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll forget all of it. I'll be like, no, it's just another day to the end of it. You know, like when you go on a big hike and you're like dying going up, and then by the time you're like halfway back down, you've like pretty much forgotten that you just did the up.
Totally. Or when you get to like your destination hiking and then you just, oh yeah, that was a lot of work.
That was, and now I'm here.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Hannah and I did a big hike over the weekend, and it wasn't technically challenging. Oh, it was Mesa Peak, which you did with us once. Not technically challenging, but it's enough steep that for a little bit you're like, I could do this. But when it just continues at that, you know, whatever it is,
incline,
30 degrees or of incline. It was like 1,400 feet, 2.5 miles. It's just at this it's not like up, down, and then up, and then it was just. By the end, my shins are like toasty,
dude.
My shins and my calves.
I went hiking in Colorado, and it was supposed to be a 3.5 mile hike, and the only shoes I had were my Onitsuka Tigers, which I've worn like for years. And I went, 3.5 miles, like that's fine. And so this trail is mixed use. It's mountain bike and hiking, and they'd recently revised it. And the family that I was hiking with hadn't been on the trail since the changes. So we walk past this sign that has a gate that says like bikes only these days, but it's on our left. We went, okay, we're not going that way. Like we're going over here. But that's cool. They've added that. So we get to the 1.75 mile thing. We've climbed about 2,000 feet. It's gorgeous. We saw a deer. Awesome. And we get to where we're supposed to U-turn and come back down a different trail. And there's a gate and it's closed. And it's like bikes only odd days, hiking only even days. And it is an odd day.
Uh-oh.
So we are going, oh, we can't. And we didn't know. Like,
yeah,
my
you're
family,
already there.
We're there.
Yeah,
my family's like, this was our way back. This is our 3.5 mile hike.
Yeah.
And so... And we, for a moment, we deliberate, like, could we do this? And we look down, it's just bike tracks. And we know that if bikers are on this trail, they think there's no people walking.
And they're ripping.
They're ripping.
Yeah.
It's not safe. It's not fair. You get fined. We go, we're not going to do that. We're not going to be those people.
That's a pain in the ass,
So
dude.
we had to turn around. And because we had walked down, like, basically we ended up doing 6.5 miles on my Onitsuka Tigers.
Oh.
My foot... Like the outside tendons of my foot was fucked for 8 days. Like legitimately had to limp around. Yeah.
You weren't with me when we tried to do in my boat in Connecticut when we had the little boat. And we tried to go from Greenwich all around Manhattan and back.
I was.
Were you?
Yeah.
And then we couldn't do it because the bridge was closed?
Yeah, and Zimmerman was there, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. We did 3/4 of the way around the island of Manhattan only for them to be like, sorry, sir, bridge closed. And I was not sure if we had enough gas to go all the way back. We did ultimately. But yeah, like shit.
Scary thing. Oh, crap.
Yeah, Imagine that, but toes. Yeah, no, hiking a long way in the wrong shoes is bad. It fucks your shit up.
It was fine, and then all of a sudden it really wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, first hike this weekend, my first new pair of, I've worn the Merrells, like your standard issue fucking Merrell hiking boot for 25 years since they've had it. They're for wide feet, they're awesome, but I was finally like, you know what? Let's try something new. And so I got some Oboes.
Oh, I have those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very, very comfortable, but they're not as wide. Like they don't have this like the elephant foot like my dumb New Balances with the elephant foot stance.
The tread
where the tread is
out.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's not as laterally good, but it's really, really comfortable this way.
Did you get a boot or a trail shoe?
I got
or
a boot.
through
I
hiker?
need a high top.
Oh, okay.
It's
That's
like a
literally
day
my
hiking.
backpacking boot.
Day hiking.
They're great.
I need the ankle support.
Although mine are about 5 years old, and the tread has peeled off.
You've
on
been
the
hiking
outside of two of
on.
them.
You hike so much, and you've been hiking on one pair of
I
boots
don't hike
for 5
that
years.
much.
You
I
should,
really don't.
You should be getting new boots.
Well, now that the tread has fallen off,
Yeah.
I'm going to get new boots.
That's usually my signal, is when it starts to peel, I go, that's the time.
Yeah.
But I hike a decent amount, so for me, that's like every 2 years. Probably.
Yeah, you hike more often than I do. I just do big trips when I do it.
Yeah. We do the day hike like every other week or so. Anyway, hi everybody. Cars. We went hiking. I'll segue. Hannah and I took the BMW M5 Touring hiking. We drove it up to Malibu, and there is one of those photos is actually us at the Malibu Creek trailhead. So I could there it was. I proved I was there. You know, I took that photo not to show the car, but to like timestamp it for if I got a parking ticket.
Oh,
you know what I mean? You got to get your own evidence,
right?
This kind of thing.
You do. Yeah,
shit's privatized.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, yeah. So there's a little 996 C4S in the background there too. The M5 Touring. A certain very famous British journalist, good friend of ours who we've worked with and generally trust his opinion, has said so many nice things about this car. Other journalists that we agree with most of the time have said this car is terrible. Other journalists that we only disagree, that we only agree with sometimes, it's all over the place. People love it, people hate it. I have to say, I'm leaning towards the don't love it side. It really doesn't work for me at all. But I didn't want to talk about it until you drove it because I think I would sound insane.
No. Look, I drove it for 2 days. I did not go to the canyons with it. So my experience is definitely limited.
Yeah.
But in that limited experience, I have not found anything...
Please say redeemable.
I'm struggling to go, I like this aspect or I like that aspect. And it's, sure, the seats are comfortable, but there's so much happening. There's a styling thing. The ride we should really talk about because that's not as subjective. Lack of exhaust note is weird. So, you drove it dynamically. I drove it around town.
I drove it mostly around town and a little bit dynamically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start then?
Okay, here's what I told you and what I think I will stand by is if I were to write a review of this car, what I would basically do is take the review that I did write for the 2013 BMW X5 M, change almost nothing, and then print it. Because when you start to go fast, you go, wow, this thing's really heavy and it gets around that corner. Okay, but like a lot of things that are not so heavy get around the corner, and like it's like this is the culmination of this spiral of tech to solve weight and weight to solve tech.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And now, so like around town, like I after the first time I drive it, I don't like to do this, but I'm going to this time. I texted Jason Camisa. Guys, we got to take one quick break from the action for HelloFresh, and I absolutely love HelloFresh. People can love HelloFresh for different reasons, right? HelloFresh could really save you time if you're tired of wasting time going to the grocery store. HelloFresh can save you efficiency in your shopping if you don't want to buy oversized portions of spices and ingredients only to make a small meal for you or you and one other person. It cuts down on waste. HelloFresh is a variety. Maybe you get into a rut and want to eat different things all the time, and HelloFresh can do that. I love HelloFresh because I love to cook, and I don't always love to shop, and I don't always love the process of trying to figure out what to make that gets me out of my sort of 10 go-to habits, And HelloFresh, it makes it easier to fit quick, home-cooked meals into my schedule every week by curating those recipes and then sending the ingredients right to my door. Stuff like panko-crusted chimichurri barramundi or sun-dried tomato grilled cheese sandos, as well as all of these seasonal snacks, sides, and treats. Right? I like it because they send me all these recipes that I've chosen from their chef selections on their website, and then I keep the recipe card. That way, if I want to make this delicious thing for more people than just me and my wife later, then I have that recipe and I can always go back to it. I'm always trying to cook new things and learning new techniques, new flavoring techniques, and stuff can be ready in just 3 minutes sometimes for the new ready-made meals. Or if you want to cook it, typically 30 minutes, sometimes a little more, but every HelloFresh meal uses high-quality ingredients, including seasonal fresh produce, proteins that travel from the farm to your doorstep, and are simple with easy-to-follow recipe cards or simple heat 'em and eat 'em options. Choose from 60 recipes every week, including prep and bake and ready-made, and plus 100. And there's 100 plus market items to add on for breakfast, lunch, and more. It's delivered right to your doorstep and so flexible you can pause or skip whenever you need. So make your summer enjoyable and delicious by signing up for HelloFresh at HelloFresh.com/ready? Smoking Tire 10FM. Right? HelloFresh.com/Smoking Tire 10FM and get 10 free meals with a free item for life. That's HelloFresh.com/Smoking Tire 10FM for 10 free meals and a free item in every box. HelloFresh.com/Smoking Tire 10FM, one per box with active subscription. Free meals are applied as a discount on the first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. And now, back to the show. I just got the M5 wagon. I do not understand how this thing has all of the active ride control on the planet and still rides like a pile of dog shit with no suspension at all. He said, "Thank you." I said, "What is wrong with this car?" He said, so wait, he said, I'm not going to repeat that because that was told to me in confidence. I said, "Is this really supposed to compete with Porsche's hydraulic active suspension? Get the fuck out of here," right? He said, "I drove it back to back with active ride and it was like driving Fred Flintstone's car versus a Rolls Royce. Even the RS6 felt like magic." Mm-hmm. I said, "I cannot believe how bad this is. I mean, I heard people when they told me, but this is really something." And he said, "Please make that opinion public."
So you told me all this stuff, and I pick up the car from your house, and I drove a minute.
Yeah.
And I said the same thing you said to me in the car. It feels like there is adaptive steering turned on, but not in a way that actually really controls the car, just enough to make you wonder if a system is on.
Yeah.
It moves like an inch left and right.
Dude, it's
very strange.
BMW's new gaslight steering system is powered by...
They tell you it's not on, but it's on. And you posited that this is happening because it has maybe 3 degrees of negative camber in the front.
Well,
like, did you
look at the front tires too? They're on the wear bars. These hand cooks on this thing. I don't know where this specific car has been, but my guess is a fucking racetrack a lot. So this car could be shot, or this car could be some cheater-ass car that they sent to a test that has some crazy alignment in it, but it darts all over the goddamn road.
Well, but it doesn't move around as much as GT500 or C7 Corvette Grand Sport. Like those moved so much, like you felt like you were wrestling the car back, especially around here. This is so minute. It's minute but unsettling
and inconsistent.
Yeah, it's inconsistent also. And then the ride is this weird like underdamped situation,
right?
Where it does like pogo a bit, and it does not float across the land whatsoever.
And so it's bigger, so it's better at everyday things, I guess, right? Like it has this huge trunk, it has a huge back seat, like it's like the biggest M5 ever. So like it should be better at like everyday stuff, but driving it around town like sucks. It rides so badly, and you have to like wrestle the steering constantly. It's so strange.
Well, that's what makes me think, Chris says it's great. The roads are smoother in most of UK than they are here. But Jason lives in a different part of California. We've talked to other people. I'm wondering if this one has like a broken damper computer, or the dampers are broken after someone went to the track, because maybe that explains the difference in opinion.
If you put it in dynamic mode and it gets not much stiffer but the body control gets better. I mean, how could it get any stiffer? It's like the springs are, it's, you know. So, but if you put it in Dynamic Plus, which is what sport mode is, the suspension does get more controlled because the damper actually starts damping. It's still really stiff and, in my opinion, not very pleasant on most roads. But it does improve it. It's weird that like the normal mode is like unusable and you have to put it. So if you bought one, you'd make your individual mode or whatever. But how weird would it be to have like your individual mode be like comfort powertrain and sport plus suspension? That would be the most bizarre,
very strange
individual mode ever.
And the opposite of every car we've driven,
right.
pretty much.
And so I wanted to go back to the conversation I had with Jason for just a second. He says the next thing we start talking about, wait. Okay. In related news, he says, I finally drove the A110 around a bumpy corner. Excuse me, but what the fuck? There's a 120-degree right angle with huge bumps that upsets every car. Most feel like you're going to pop a tire and roll over, including the M5. Alpine sent engineers to smooth out the pavement first and then rough it back up for everything else after I blew it. That car, you know, light car, the bump disappears.
Yep.
This thing, it feels like it happens 3 times.
This thing, it feels like it makes new bumps when you drive, like driving from your place to my place.
It does invent.
It's not that bumpy.
New bumps. It's so crazy.
I mean, only my car moves around this much.
Yeah, this is the gaslightiest car. It invents new bumps. It invents new ADAS features that don't exist.
I think this is to go back to what you said. Like, this is the Bermuda Triangle of tech, where it's pulled in tech from all these corners, and the result is like this black hole that just takes everything good away. It's very it's super huge. It doesn't ride like a luxury car, and the M5 is a performance car, but it's a performance luxury car.
Yeah,
and this has lost the luxury, in my opinion.
Like, even if this is faster around a track than a Panamera or an RS6, who's buying this for a track day? You're buying this to drive to the track, to do the track day in your GT3. Like, who are we kidding? These kind of cars need to ride well, bar none. No one's going to a track. Maybe as a goof, you do a track day in this as a gag. But
I think it's like,
but like
the body. It's the body control that's strange. Because I drove the Taycan GTS when I was in Georgia last year. Like, that was a pretty stiff car. Yeah. You know, if you're in Georgia where the roads are smooth, it's good. Around here, it would be pretty stiff.
Yeah, they were stiff here.
So that's like setting this into dynamic mode. But this seems like it has the control to, you know, remove all the damper, but then the suspension's so stiff. But it's stiff, but it like bounces enough, you know, like a hobby horse thing at a playground, because like it's all spring. I don't know. It's really strange.
It's crazy.
There's a lack of control when you're in comfort mode.
All right, let me be nice about it for a minute. It's ludicrously fast and violent in a straight line. Did you do like a proper launch and go through like 4
gears? No, it doesn't warm up between here and there.
Okay, so I did, and it spun all 4 tires in second gear, and from 20 to about 120, it was like literally it felt like a Hellcat, like a hooked up Hellcat, in terms of not just the sound but the violence of it. It was very, very, and I actually think when Jason did his drag race, the Panamera was actually quicker. Mm-hmm. But the Panamera Turbo SE Hybrid, it's really smooth. It's never violent. This, if you kick everything up to max and flat-foot it does deliver a violence, which I think is much more unique than either the Panamera or the RS6, neither of which are ever that. Mm-hmm. Maybe that special edition RS6, but certainly not a regular.
I mean, that was fast, but it wasn't violent.
So, like, should you have the occasion to use that, like, this thing's it even if it's like a couple tenths behind the Panamera, it's still fucking hauls.
Sure,
hauls. You would really scare somebody in this. And I did actually really scare Hannah in a couple of corners where she said, I can't believe this car just went this fast through a corner. I mean, so it does the thing, right? It goes through the corner. It does, in the same way a 2009 Nissan GTR did the thing. But like it to me wasn't ever that fun. This is that. Like, God help if Paul Zuckerman came over for coffee right now in an E39 M5.
Yeah.
And I drove it 100 yards around the block, I guarantee you I would fall in love. Like when I went to Japan. We went to Japan for a drive, and I spent 2 days driving around that GTR Nismo, whatever the fuck, Black Series Nismo, whatever it was, the big wing.
Yeah, R34, right?
No. Well, the 35. I did the 35 press car for a couple of days, and then I returned it and got an R34 and went, driver's car.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, man, this ain't it. There's 1,000 computers in between everything you do in the road and then the other direction
now,
too.
Is the regular, and I should have looked this up as I asked this, but is the regular 5 Series wagon, you know, because the M's have always been like, let's take the existing thing, add some performance, and that's the car. So are the problems and aspects of this thing being dictated by the lower 5 Series?
Don't know.
Or is this because, well, you got London needs you to have an EV, but people still want to go fast, and these companies are just being forced to combine everything into a turducken.
Yeah.
And the execution of this is just not great.
Don't know. And I'd be very interested to see if there's a regular 5 Series wagon, which I don't actually know. Maybe we could figure out. If there's a regular one, and BMW owns Alpina now. If there was an Alpina version of this that was tuned for highway, that was, tuned for performance, but for highway road performance, not fucking Nürburgring performance, I bet it would be rad. Because the interior, I don't hate it. I mean, I kind of hate it. It's a lot of haptics.
It's a lot of haptics. I don't like the design styling of it. I think it looks like a laser tag arena, but that's me. Like I really would like to show it to a 24-year-old and be like, "Do you like this?" Because what I will say it is very different inside. And I do mean that as a compliment. Mercedes has continued to have these really wonderful, like round, smooth, old school like shapes and things, very like aviation. And this goes the other way. I mean, what you see on the outside of these hard angles is mirrored on the inside, but it is distinct. So maybe some people like it.
Well, I'll tell you what, driving it around and parking it at grocery stores and, retail establishments for a few days, people who have never driven it love it. I love the color.
Color's green.
I don't like the shape of it, but I do like the color of it. The fact that it is a wagon does give it some points, but not infinite points.
Yeah.
But people who saw it at the street, at the store, fucking loved it. So
there are other 5 Series wagons that are not available here, but they do make an electric i5, and you can get that in both eDrive 40 and M60 forms. So it's either primarily electric or there's a lot of electric versions. So they had the architecture, they had all the stuff. So I guess it does make sense that this has that.
Yeah, if they did an Alpina one that was tuned for ride, I bet it would be rad.
Yeah,
and not tuned for racetracks.
So I think that goes to, would that be? Are they stuck in this box of M? Where if they made it more luxurious, it would be a better car given the new criteria for cars. Yeah, I think that's tough. Yeah.
And to their credit, like the actual like hybridness of it isn't bad.
No,
it has like a legitimate probably 40-mile electric range in the city. It has enough power to really, if you commute 15 miles, you could never turn on the gas engine. But like, is that what you're buying an M5 for? I don't know. Something about the Panamera Turbo SE hybrid to me, and even the Bentley GT, I feel like because they're tuned for comfort, are like better as electric. Like when a car's really stiff, it's being an EV, like it doesn't help it that much.
Right,
you know what I mean? It's
they
like
seem conflicting.
It's not that same serene experience that you want out of an EV.
But I will push back that, like, if the M5 was always this luxury performance, that it was a do-everything car, right? It was just a larger version of the M3. I think it's very cool to have EV mode and then go fast, holy shit mode. I mean, if I'm going to spend a lot of money, the world can do everything for me. That is the natural evolution of automobiles. The problem is that it adds weight, of course. Yeah,
a lot of it. And so you wonder if that. Versus like some of the really light hybrids that like the 296, things like that, where you have like a 2 kilowatt hour battery that can really just help fill torque, but you don't have this giant pack you need to lug around. Although
I think for folks like us, like let's say drivers, that's what we would want. I could see, BMW planners or customers that go, oh, I have a Tesla, but I also like the M stuff. Mm-hmm. Can you put that in one sandwich, please? Yeah. And that's kind of what they've done, but the result is, I think it's hard to get it right. I think Porsche does a better job.
It's like it's like a sandwich on man versus food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, at a certain point, you go, God, I wish there was just less shit on this. Like this, you didn't have to put everything in the burrito. Like,
and that's why the guy quit the show. He's like, I'm gonna die.
Like, it's too much. Like, I don't know. I think we need to get out of this fucking spiral because it's basically an X5 M at this point. If it was a little taller, it would be an X5 M. It's 700 pounds heavier than my fucking Taycan wagon. Like, come on. My fully electric, half the car's a goddamn battery car.
What year is your Taycan again?
2022.
2022.
It's like, my car's like 5,049 pounds or something.
Okay.
Taycan 4 Cross Turismo.
The M5 is only 5 inches longer than your car. Parking in my garage was very funny.
I saw the photo.
Did you see my photo? Like, I had about 2 inches on either end, and I got so focused on just making it fit without chopping off the nose of this thing with the garage door. And the backup camera in this car is not great. It has like a parallax thing that makes I wish the camera was mounted higher, looking down at the bumper, because it's more rearward, but then it distorts the side. So like all my shelves looked like they were suddenly 800 feet tall, and it was very hard to get close to them. But once I finally parked, I get out and I go, okay, it's going to fit. Like, this was really tight. And then I realized that the only outlet in my garage is at the back wall, and I did not have enough room to get there to plug in the charger to then plug.
Funny.
I didn't plan ahead and like run the cable, and I just looked at it. I was like, I'm not moving it again.
Yeah,
This
well, that's another journalist problem.
dangerous.
They'll say in the comments,
Sure.
this is a you
It was.
problem.
It totally was a me problem. But it was just a funny thing that happened. I went, I'm not moving it again. It was already too dicey.
If you drive around with the gas engine running, it charges itself pretty fast. It does. And I think if you have it in Sport Plus mode, I didn't drive it for an extended period in the canyons because I had my wife with me and she gets motion sickness, but particularly in this car. But it seems to me that driving in Sport Plus, unless you're on a racetrack, really doesn't drain the battery. You get the performance of the e-boost, but you're not in the pedal long enough to for it to do it. And it can when you brake, it can engine drag or torque drag as well to regenerate. So I'm going to go with not for me. I think that Porsche's execution of this formula and Bentley's sub execution of that formula are substantially better.
Sure, I mean the Bentley costs like twice as much as this.
It does, but it basically operates. It's a Panamera Turbo S underneath it, just with its own, tune. In fact, now, I mean, who knows about maybe the facelift or the next gen, but now the Panamera's probably the better car with the hydraulic suspension. Bentley has an air suspension.
Yeah.
So, like, if you actually want the better driving car, you should get the Panamera right now.
Get the magic ride.
Yeah.
We should find out if the dampers are broken on this thing. I hope they are. I hope it's not.
I don't think the dampers are broken. I think, and did you feel, by the way, the vibration at the front end? I think one of the tires was flat spotted because there is a vibration above like 60 miles an hour through the steering wheel. The tires are super bald, all of them. I would, and it's possible it has, and the inners are significantly more worn than the outers. So this car may have had an alignment that is possibly more aggressive than what it should have.
Interesting. I wonder, did Jason have this at Thermal? Like, we knew he was there. It'd be very funny if he had this car there.
If it was this very car,
but
and it was like, this thing sucks and it's because of you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I should check the license plate with his records.
You should. I'm curious if we have the same one. Because if we have different cars and you guys have the same report, then it goes, okay, this is the problem with the M5. If you guys had the same car, I think I'm remaining optimistic.
The problem with this M5.
Right, exactly.
No, it's getting picked up. Is it today or tomorrow? I think it's getting picked up today. My plan is to ask them to I mean, one might say it's maybe not quite fair to like judge the car before we know for sure. What the fuck? Is it today or tomorrow? But it's tomorrow, Thursday, which is good because after the show I need you to drive me home.
Okay.
Because I have to leave the 911T here because we're leaving. Can't drive it anymore. It's going to get picked up. Should we move on from the M5 and talk about that? Do you want to talk about the Carrera T?
Yeah.
All right. So the M5 is going to be a pass from me. But respect to Chris Harris. And also, I took this photo of the wheels because I actually really like them. I think the wheels are cool.
I do not.
I know not everybody does, but I think they look cool. But, if you like that car, okay. And we're going to ask BMW if but wait, go to that on my Instagram real quick. Just look at it next to the Taycan on the top right. And look at what pretty is. Tell me the Taycan is not a significantly prettier wagon.
I agree. When I picked it up at your house, I took a photo of each car, and I'm going to put it in my stories like one above the other because the Taycan, that's just my style of shape.
Yeah. There is a trade-off. The M5 has a bigger trunk. The M5 has a bigger back seat. But like in terms of pretty, gold medal to
this
Taycan.
era of design for BMW, we'll see how it ages with people. I'm curious, but it's not. I have not warmed to it.
Yeah.
I got a photo of the 911 somewhere.
I didn't post or airdrop. You put it on your Instagram,
Indeed.
Zach Clapman. A company out of Florida called Flat 6 Motorsports saw the video we did with the twin turbo Cayman from a few weeks ago and said, "Hold up, are you telling me that if I send you my car, you might be interested in it?" I said, "That depends what the car is." And they said, "Well, it's a Carrera T manual with a full interior, comfort spec, and it makes 715 horsepower." And I went, "That sounds fucking delightful. Let's go." And he said, "You can have it for like 2 weeks." Shout out to John at Flat 6 Motorsports for sending the car. Zach took it up the hill and actually got to drive it back to back with our buddy Misha's 991.2 GT3 Touring. So has a little direct comparison there. I drove it as well. A lot, actually. Drove it on the mountain. I dailied it for a few days. I drove it this morning because I knew it would be the last day with it, and I will miss it because, wow, what a fucking quality package we are talking about here.
Yeah.
So these guys, it turns out the 3-liter Carrera motor that they use in all Carrera 992s and 991.2s, an earlier version of it, has fully forged internals.
Yep.
And the base car and then the SGTS, they have progressively bigger turbos, but they never get that big. And so Flat 6 Motorsports puts a 67 millimeter set of turbos on this thing, CSF intercoolers. It's got an exhaust. It's got a numeric short shift kit. They do Öhlins suspension, triple adjustable. It has a set of forged wheels and super sticky tires. The wheels are +1, plus 20 millimeters all around width. And
so
then
the wheels and tires are the same as a GT2 RS, I think?
Yeah. They don't rub. They look like they should, but they don't, which is interesting. There is a little bit of that Ackerman happening when you go full lock when you're like backing out of a parking space, but price you pay for speed if I'm not. And then it's got an M Engineering tune, and then there's some other like bits and bobs, but like those are pretty much. I don't want to say that's it, but like it's not an enormous list of parts. It's just some very well chosen and high quality items.
Yep.
And a great tune on an already very strong engine. And fuck me, does it go fast?
It's extremely fast, and it's to jump ahead. Like it's well executed. Everything works well. CarPlay, all those systems work perfectly, but it was really like the tuning of the engine, the power band, how smooth it was. There were no holes in it. There were none of those weird valleys you get. I mean, that's literally credit to M Engineering, who tuned your Boxster Spider.
Yeah.
Like, this is what they do. They do really good pro tunes, and this has a really good pro tune.
Yeah. So it sounds Only a little bit louder than the stock car from the exhaust side, but you do get a bunch of extra turbo whistle.
Yeah,
which
a
is
lot.
fun.
It's great.
It's a lot of turbo
super
whistle.
fun.
Amazingly, as we learned, the stock clutch holds this power.
Stock clutch, stock flywheel, stock trans, all that stuff. It's, according to John at Flat Six, Porsche just overbuilds it. They use the same one for
Sport Classic.
Sport Classic, which has, was it 580 horsepower or something like that? But either way, it's over-engineered. So I don't know how long it'll last. I don't know if there's a timeline that's significantly shortened. But
well, if Porsche will sell it in a car with 500 and whatever horsepower that has, something, it's going to be good for like a couple thousand drag launches, right? At that, you'd have to try pretty hard to fuck that clutch up if it was at stock level, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to money shift it or do something really, really bad to roast that clutch. Like, you and I know about Porsche clutches, and they don't fuck around. So let's just say the lifespan factory of that clutch is 250,000 miles if you drive it perfectly. Maybe this one's 100,000. And that wouldn't match Porsche's QC. But in the aftermarket, a 700 horsepower car with a clutch that lasts, I'm guessing, 100K miles if you take care of it, is like more than enough.
Totally.
Yeah.
That is victory. I mean, they've added almost 400 horsepower to this thing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And when they told me that they used the stock clutch and transmission, I was
they've added just over 300 horsepower.
It goes from 385, right?
Yeah. So it's almost 400, and it's just so it's 300 change.
Right, almost 400.
Yeah,
it's a lot. I mean, it's when you start saying it's almost twice. Like,
it's a shitload.
Crazy.
It's a shitload. And normally, what's interesting about this is because this car is geared longer. You noted that if the car was left on the stock powertrain, one thing you'd want to do is run short gears.
Yeah,
and I agree with a lower power. Not that 385 isn't enough, but that would benefit that car in the same way it benefits my car. But with 700 horsepower, actually the long gears are right.
Yeah.
Because you have so much power that the gear doesn't really feel that long, and if you want to go, quick but not bonsai, you just drive a gear higher and you still have a huge amount of power, but you're pretty much just loafing the engine at 4,000 RPM, kind of where you get that fun bit where every corner you go into the boost and then you come out of it and then you go back into it. Like, that's different than attacking it in boost. If you tried to drive like that, you can't. On a public road, you can't.
Yeah, you can't. You have to be on a track.
Yeah. On a public road, it would not be possible to drive this car in boost all the time. Yeah. It's not. It's too fast.
And the power band's really broad. I mean, peak torque now is like 4,400 RPM. Peak torque in the regular car is 2,000. But
that's what happens when you get a bigger turbo.
$7,000. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So you've got a really nice big power band to play with in the corners and on the straightaways.
Peak torque is higher, but there's also so much more of it. So the question is, you don't have the dyno chart hint. No, it's okay. But the question is, at 2,000 RPM, even though that's not peak, you're still making about the same or just a little less.
It was you're making about 300 pound-feet of torque, I believe, at 2,000 RPM. And in the stock car, it was like 330.
That makes no difference. In the real world, that makes no difference.
And then that line goes up.
It keeps going.
Quick.
It keeps going up. Yeah. No, that's a big difference. But especially comfort seats, back seat. So this one, was John's personal car, and the suspension was really dialed in for like Florida roads and track. Mm-hmm. So a little bit brutal in the city. I would crank this thing all the way down to soft if it was me, but okay, do that, fine. Mm-hmm. But the powertrain, the only time it ever feels like a tuner car is when it's ice cold. I said it to you, and you said, I didn't really experience that, but it happened to me almost every time. When it's really ice cold, overnight sitting, for the first 60 seconds, 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, the clutch is like a little grabby, and the throttle tip-in is a little choky. It can get a little choked up right at the very, very bottom.
Tiny stutter.
A tiniest bit at the very, very bottom. But like once the engine is to not even operating temperature, just above, when the water gets above like, 100 Fahrenheit, not even operating temperature, just like not cold, once the clutch gets not cold, that goes away. And then it stays gone for the rest of the day. That's the only thing
really
I noticed that made it feel not, because any Porsche, even the most highest performance Porsche stock, you could start it ice cold and just drive it normally. That's like a thing for Porsche. There's no like warm up period for a modern one.
It feels the same all the time.
But my car is, if it's ice cold, you have to give it a couple minutes for things to get the flywheel and shit to get some heat in them, and the oil is like whatever, and same as this, but this one's better at that than my car is, and the clutch is lighter.
Yeah, it's a lot lighter than your car. I mean, this, like we said, stock clutch, but this is just amazing because it's so easy to use, and it's like slightly lower than stock. But I mean, I drove it around. There's no nose lift, so I didn't scrape it on anything.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
It's got a painted lip too. That's a bold move.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's no plastic underneath there.
Lip, yeah.
I mean, I took it to the store and ran around in it, and it just felt like a normal car that looks awesome because I love the ducktail spoiler. And then put it in second, traction control full on, floor it, and you like pay the fuck attention because it lights the tires up and steps out a little bit, and that is very interesting. So comparison stuff, because I did get to drive it. Like Misha showed up at Good Vibes. Flat six, I'll let you know now, the car's fine. I did let Misha drive it. This man has owned a lot of 700 horsepower cars.
Yeah.
And he loved it. He was like, whoa. He was impressed in every way by the thing. And the same realization we've had, we go, is this going to be the thing? Like, I was talking to Vin and Natra about it. He was supposed to drive it, and he goes, man, this might be the jam. Like, the fact that you can turn one of these up well beyond Turbo S power levels. I mean, we're knocking on McLaren doors.
You know that all those people that were buying Supras in the early 2000s are now driving Porsches. Those are the same fucking people.
It's a great point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, this has like, not B58 potential, but close.
Yeah.
You had to put bigger turbos on it, but this kit was $20,000, which as a percentage of the car isn't crazy for modifications.
Yeah.
And the performance you get is competing with cars that cost $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially the sport classic experience, but you don't have to treat it as an investment grade asset. And also, it's like better.
So I drove the Sport Classic on the launch, 570-ish horsepower, beautiful car inside and out. Like I love the design of it, but I remember getting out and just thinking, okay, like I really had to mentally focus on the fact that it's a rare car because the experience didn't feel rare.
Sure.
And I came back to WCCS. You guys had like a Club Sport sitting in the warehouse with the ducktail spoiler, and I looked at it and I went, other than having side intakes with this, which the Sport Classic doesn't, and this not being rare, it's a turbocharged car. It's manual transmission. Like it's so similar.
Yeah, it's like you could get the GTS or the S experience for like almost the same.
Yeah, and I think like Porsche turbos and Turbo S's. Well, now they don't feel as distinct because everything's turbocharged, but the Sport Classic just lacked that. It's real if you know, you know. Mm-hmm. You pull in, and sure, it is wearing the Stealth watch. It's worth a lot of money, and people know it's rare. But if you don't know that, then you don't know. Yeah. And this, from an experience perspective, it's far more exciting. The turbo whistle sounds, it adds so much theater to it. The handling was incredible. The turn-in on this is better than Misha's car. The steering rack is a little bit quicker.
The turn-in was better on the silver car, on the flat six car than Misha's car?
Yeah. So very slightly.
It is a 992. Misha's car is a 991, although it's a GT3.
What it felt like is the rack felt 5 to 10% quicker. Not
probably
much, but a little bit. And Misha's car, the GT3 Touring, off of center, there's like that moving the wheel left and right 1 inch. Let's just say it requires 2 pounds of pressure. It feels pretty light. It's not dead, but it's so light you go, is it actually moving the nose? And on the new 911, or sorry, on the 911T, there was like none of that slack. It was just instantly moving the front of the car. So that made it feel a little bit more focused. And then, the power, the way they deliver it is totally different.
Yeah.
Beaches you have to rev the snot out of, and that sound will never get old. That car is a forever car for anybody that has one. It should be. Whereas I could see someone driving the 911T, and after a while you get that GTR tolerance where you go, okay, I'm used to the power. But what an amazing value for performance, and it really highlights like how good the T is, and you just add power to it, and the chassis stays good.
Yeah. It's kind of, if you can already get a T, it's like kind of a no-brainer. I might, if it was me, I might not do, I think they make a kit that's like 600 horsepower and uses a slightly smaller turbo.
They do, 625.
That with the manual, to me, I don't think the difference between, so the 700 uses the pure 800 turbos. So like you could, the 625 for a street car, that really gets you, that's a fast fucking car.
Yep.
And you don't have to change the turbos. Or you can use the OEM turbos.
Well, it looks like the 600 is you have to use the S or GTS turbos.
Right. But like, I mean, not that I don't trust a high quality aftermarket turbo, but if I can go from 400 horsepower to 625 using OEM parts,
I get you.
That's money right there, dude. You know what I mean?
I totally get it.
Yeah.
And then you don't need their intercooler, although they recommend it.
Yeah, you'd get the. I trust the shout out to CSF, dude. I love Josh at CSF. That dude rules. He makes a high quality product, and that guy is an excellent individual.
I was just saying it looks like it's not required, but it's recommended. Sure. So, the kit's slightly cheaper.
Yeah, but if it's hot out, you get the intercoolers.
Oh, definitely.
I mean? You just get that.
If you're going to track it, which this owner does, and then
you can do this starting with any Carrera. You could start with an S or a GTS or a PDK, whatever. Like you can put it on any car. So like, I might not do it on a cab, probably fucking twist the chassis, but.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but you could have, dude, imagine like the sleeper, like Targa, like touring car you could set up, quiet exhaust, and just fucking think
that is
fly.
600 horsepower.
Oh, that'd be great.
Targa turbo, basically. Yeah. Turbo-esque.
Well, Ali's car has a roof tune on it and that kind of stuff, so it's like 5 something, and it's a stick, and it actually sounds pretty much just like this car.
Look, this thing, you can get a tune, you make 480 horse, goes to 510. The engines have a lot of potential in them.
Yeah.
I think what came away, just to sum up, is every aspect of this car, in my opinion, was elevated and worked great. I thought the suspension, it was stiff for LA, but if you live where it's smoother, the Olin's Road and Track stuff, like I watched their Flat Sixes video, like they did a lot of testing on shaker rigs to try to set it up well. And the brakes felt great. They're iron disc, but
they're PCCB
calipers.
Yeah, and you just take out
discs.
Yeah, you put different steel pads and rotors.
Yeah, so they're a little bit bigger. I like the shifter. I know you didn't like it, but I thought it was focused.
It's not true. It's not that I didn't.
Sorry, you didn't like it in town.
It's not that I didn't like it. I just wanted to point out that one of the lovely things about the T is the lightness of every control, and the numeric short shifter. It makes the 7-speed more direct. The trade-off is the weight of the shifter. And the wider tires at the front make the turn-in better. The trade-off is the steering gets a little heavier. So it's just like one of many good things about the regular Carrera T that are changed with this package.
True.
And it narrows the focus a little bit away from daily driver and a little bit more towards weekend track or canyon car. And like, that's okay if that's what you want. It's just like a thing to point out because people like particularly like Spike and Zuckerman and like that whole crew that typically really like stock cars and not tuner cars. One of the things that they repeatedly talk about and that I've felt from very special factory Porsches is the very special factory Porsches tend to get faster and faster and faster without the controls getting any heavier, which is kind of like the clutch on a GT3 or an ST is like so light. And so when a car starts to, people talk about it feels like could be factory or it feels like it could be, it's not, it feels like a tuner car. It doesn't feel, when people say a lot about their tuner cars, especially Porsches, it feels like Porsche could have done it. If the weight of the controls is heavier than it was when that car left the factory, it doesn't feel like Porsche would have done it. They wouldn't have done that. They would have found a way to keep the lightness of the control, but still have the car turn in better.
Have you driven GT2 RS?
Yeah.
How does the steering feel in that car?
It's not like heavy. It's not like this. Like they reprogrammed the steering for the wheels on it, so it matches right.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
it's like I think it's the same with like my Taycan. Like the steering is a little heavier because I have these wider wheels. But
The steering is very heavy on your Taycan.
It is, yeah. But if you got the turbo that came with these wheels, it would
recalibrate it.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, that'd be a good back to back. If
Yeah.
we ever see someone that has a Taycan turbo,
Yeah,
I
we
would
could
like
find
to,
one. I'm sure. We have to find the matching year.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, but like it's not a point against. It's just a thing that narrows the focus from a car that is otherwise one of the most flexible cars on the market. You know, but I loved it.
Yeah,
Don't want to give it back.
I know.
It's just gonna be a shame.
Makes me want to shop for 911Ts at some point.
I know. I think, and they have a kit for the 991.2T. It just makes a little less power, I think.
Yeah, I think they said the head design is different on the 992, so it flows a little more air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's up there somewhere.
That's a pretty sweet little fucking package there. If you're willing to go water meth, you can get even more power, but water meth is annoying.
Yeah, it's not worth it, in my opinion.
And I was texting with Mitch from M Engineering about how much I enjoyed the car, and he's like, "Oh, we've got some other stuff you might like." And he's like, "I've also got an extra like 911 Carrera S sitting here." He's like, "I kind of want to build it into like a drag car." I was like, "Has anyone ever run nines in a base Carrera, like a non-turbo?" And he's like, "I don't know. You want to try?" He's like, "I'll build it if you want to drive it." I was like, "Yeah,
do that.
Yeah, cool. That'll be fun." So we can see if we can get a Carrera to run nines. That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, I did a quick Google. I'm sure everyone's. Oh wait,
has someone done it?
APR made a Carrera T run nines.
Wow, really?
Yeah, in 2020.
Really?
Wow,
that's pretty sweet. Go APR. Nice job. All right, Mitch.
Passes.
You heard it here, Mitch. You got to beat APR. We need a fucking Carrera running eights, baby.
Yeah, they ran a 9.917.
Okay,
and then some other runs as well.
I got to say that sounds beatable.
Yeah, you got to run 9.8 or 9.7.
Sounds very beatable.
Low nines, and then you're safe.
Low
Mitch.
nines does it?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Low nines.
Let's fucking go. Anyway, that's a fun one. Before we go to the people, dude, I got a text from my neighbor this morning, real early. Some creepers were creeping through the neighborhood and rolled up to his house and tried to get into his Ioniq 5.
Whoa.
And there were three cars in his driveway, a Subaru, the Ioniq 5, and a classic Land Rover Defender under a cover, a really nice one. And they just cruised up, checked the Ioniq, and then left. Just that car. They also,
interesting.
I checked my cameras, and 30 seconds before, they drove past my house, didn't stop, but went to like 1 mile an hour because there was two Porsches in my driveway, the silver one and the Taycan, and they stopped and then kept going. So these fools were rolling around the neighborhood in an 01 to 04 Hyundai Sonata, which I was able to identify from camera, only checking Hyundais. I think it's the Kia boys, dude.
Oh, you think the USB trick works on the Ioniq?
I don't know. I don't know if it does, and they know something or don't know something. But what kind of fucking who rolls around a neighborhood and the only car that they stop to check is an Ioniq 5?
Let's see. Some Reddit says, unfortunately, it's pretty easy to steal an Ioniq 5.
Oh yeah.
AI says this is AI, granted. Look, Inside EVs, Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Kia EV6 are newest victims of the Game Boy hack.
Yeah.
This was a year ago.
The Kia boys. Sorry, Habibi. That's what I told him. He pulls up the video. He sends me the video and they're trying to get in his car. And I go, yo, they only went for the Hyundai? And then they drove by my house with two Porsches in the driveway. They didn't even come look in the cars. It's like, that's the fucking Kia boys. 100%, dude.
It's like, let's see.
That's crazy to steal a connected car, though, right?
So here, this is from Inside EVs. Technically, the device is an emulator. It's a bunch of radio transmission software stuffed into a shell, like a Game Boy, by someone in Europe, and then compatible with them. It works. Oh, once the car is woken up by touching the door handle and activating a handshake protocol between the door and what would be the owner's key fob, the program then activates the emulator, which starts to talk to the car, and the device tricks the car into thinking it's a legitimate key by using an algorithm that eventually calculates the right code, usually in a few seconds. If it takes longer, the thief can put the device in their pocket and wait for it to vibrate to signal it found the code and store it for use. So if his car goes missing,
no way. So he could have just done the handshake bit, and now he's going to come back later and take it.
Very possible.
Wow. So now what do you do?
I don't know. In this moment, I don't know. Does he have a garage? You should call him. You should send him this thing.
His good cars are in the garage, dude. It's like nice shit's in the garage. I don't know. Tell him to put the knife.
He should call Hyundai. Honestly, he should say, "Hey, this happened. I know that this was a problem."
Oh, so that's definitely what these guys are doing.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was like they couldn't get it right now, so we'll just come back later.
Very possible. God, I don't know if some cars. They said you start putting the key in a Faraday cage in your house.
Yeah. Well, someone told me that. Now I do it. Yeah. Now all of our fucking shit goes straight in the Faraday box.
Because I saw a video, thieves would walk towards the house with a bunch of wire, which is basically an antenna, and it would talk to your key, grab that data, and then they could unlock your Range Rover. Because everyone's keys are by the front door.
Sure. So we had to move our keys to somewhere else, but it's still if you were at the front of the house and your device could go through the wall, it's still my house isn't that deep, so anywhere would do. So yeah, we got the Faraday box, and hopefully it's a real Faraday box. I got it on Temu, so I don't know.
It's actually sending the codes to somebody. That would be great.
It's a scraper device.
Oh, if thieves made the Faraday device, that's 40 chests right there, gentlemen.
Oh, but I got to tell my homie.
Yep.
That's definitely the move. Oh shit, we have to review the footage.
Because there's no way they're I'm just going to see if this is unlocked and then steal an iPhone.
The doors have the pop-out thing.
Right, exactly.
It's not open.
Right. So this is what they're doing.
They drove down the street and just only hit that one car.
And they probably were admiring your cars because they knew that the Porsche wasn't vulnerable.
Shit, that's fucking
Shout
dope.
out Porsche.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then they were like, all right, let's go roll and look for some Hyundais.
Fuck.
Yeah. It's wild.
Driving a Hyundai.
Yeah,
they were driving a Hyundai.
That they probably stole using the USB move because they're driving stolen cars for that stuff unless
100%.
they're dumb. It's just amazing that after all Hyundai has been through with the USB Kia Boy thing, they got this whole new electric architecture, and wouldn't you fucking know it?
That's crazy. Yeah. Stealing a connected car is a wild thing to do.
Well, according to the article, they basically steal it, drive away, and then they rip out all the GPS stuff, and then they throw it in a container somewhere. So, I think you have to catch on quick.
Yeah,
throw an AirTag in your car. Tell your neighbor to do that too. Bury it somewhere.
Multiple.
Yeah.
5-6 AirTags. All over the car.
The last 6 months, but
yeah.
Put them somewhere that's really hard to get to.
Yeah. Damn. All right.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Kia boys. Really getting it done. I love a go-getter. I love someone who gets it done.
Entrepreneurial spirit. Yeah. But I watched a video about that. They were selling it was 15-year-olds were. This is one area. 15-year-olds would steal the Kia. Then they would sell it to gang members in their neighborhood for $100 because then it would be used to commit a crime. And you're just this is so much risk. And I get it, opportunity, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money to a lot of people. I understand. But I was just shocked at how little you were getting. These people are undervaluing themselves.
Yeah. They're getting a brand new Hyundai.
They should form a union.
These things are going for $349 a month.
The Kia boys should form a union and sell the cars to the gang members for $500 because you're helping them escape felony.
Because what are you going to do? Right. Use your own car?
No.
You don't know how to go. Do you have a Game Boy? No.
Kia boys, let me represent you to the local neighborhood council.
Jesus Christ. It's awesome. All right, can we pause? I got to call my neighbor. No, we can wait till after the show. I don't think they're coming at 10:30 in the morning, unless they are. Maybe that's the move.
They used to when people would go to work, and I think now people work from home.
WFH, baby. Nah, WFH. Right, let's go to the people. Zach a hard out ski at 11. You know.
Sure.
Let's go to the people. Of course, patrons, our favorite people in the world who support us at patreon.com/the Smoking Tire Podcast over there. The best. They get ad-free podcasts. They get the podcast live. They get the podcast early. They get to ask us questions for the show and get them answered on the show. They get early access to merch, collabs, tickets to our live shows, which, this is going to air after we do our live shows, so I won't plug that anymore. Hopefully it went well, Zach.
That's a good point.
And let's get to those questions. Again, patreon.com/the Smoking Tire Podcast is where you get in on the action. Honker, bonker, boinky doinkies. Is that the best one?
No.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good. I know you've made friends with foreign automotive journalists over the years. Curious what have been the funniest stereotypes about your home country that have ever been... So most of the people that we've hung out with are like pretty well traveled. Mm-hmm. They're not like surprised by America. I find that British automotive journalists, when they come to visit America, tend to get like Ram 1500 press cars just for the novelty of driving a giant truck around. Harris did it. Porter did it. Yeah. But no, I actually find that most of the foreigners that the interactions they have with us are generally very positive. I think I would like to think, but yeah, no one. We've never been like. I haven't met anyone who's like, this is my first time in America, and I really am surprised by this. So. At least within that circles. I'm sorry, I don't have a better answer. Kurt May says, this talk with Camisa the other day re-sparked my interest in the C4 Corvette. Moving markets, baby. Is the premium of the ZR1 worth it over a later model LT1 with Z51 or the optional LT4? ZR1s are always going to be ZR1s, so... In terms of like how it drives, just pure driving experience, ZR1's a 4-cam engine. That's not a pushrod engine. Right. So it feels very different from a even bigger pushrod engine. It's unique in the Corvette space that way until the current Z06. It's also like the ZR1's like literally wider. It's very interesting because it's not a wide body. They cut down the middle and widened it from the middle. So that's like a different thing that only the ZR1 has. I do think a ZR1 premium is worth it because it's not that much. It's not like a regular Corvette's $15,000 and a ZR1's $70,000. It's like 15 and 35. It's probably worth it because you probably you'll get a better percentage of it back on the other side too. Right. It's always going to be a ZR1.
Right.
Ride Sibal, hope I didn't butcher that, recently acquired a LC500 convertible as a holdover while I wait for my Targa GTS allocation. Over the last few months, I've fallen in love with it. Would it be better to take the $100K difference after you option the Targa, put it in a more fun, lightweight sports car as a two-car solution? I'm 32 and I can't drive stick, so considering buying a vehicle with a manual for that purpose. If you have room to keep that car and it's not a financial hardship, I would say yes, mainly because for $100,000 you could get like a Porsche.
You get a 911T.
You get another Porsche.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get a really good Porsche. An old one, a new one.
Boxster.
You
get all kinds of stuff.
You get a bunch of shit. And if you want a different experience, you could get mid-engine cars. $100,000 might even get you into a manual swapped Ferrari or an old Ferrari 328 or 348. You could have something really interesting that would be a couple times a month car maybe instead of an everyday car. Mm-hmm. I would say that LC500 is going to last you a really long time. It's not going to age much, and I don't think financially it would be wise to sell it a year after buying it. That's probably the worst time to sell that car. The longer you hold it, the better value it will be.
And if you really like it and you keep it, then you could rotate your sports cars with that $100,000
For
instead
sure.
of being locked in this 992 Target GTS that's going to depreciate for a while, and then you have that one thing. I think this is a very fun idea.
I think it's a better plan.
Yeah.
I think it's a better plan. And there's lots of manual transmission options from Porsches to Shelby GT350s to Corvettes to, I mean, you know, pick
Yeah.
you can get $100,000, get you a fabulous Acura NSX, you know, or a whole bunch of different stuff.
This is great.
Gay Ted Manuel.
Yeah, it's spelled GAE Ted Manuel, gated Manuel.
Oh,
gated manual.
Gated. Oh, shit. I didn't put that together. But thank you. 2 cars I would purchase if they had manuals were the Ferrari 458 and 718 Spider RS. Assuming factory level conversions were possible, which would benefit the most from a manual transmission and why? Probably the Ferrari, actually, just because they didn't have anything with a manual transmission there, whereas you could buy any number of other Caymans and Spiders that do have manual transmissions.
Oh yeah, the Ferrari would be the more rare and more special. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think if you could find a way, and that dude Jeff Siegel did, to make a manual work in a 458, yep, that one. Because it's just that's an experience that would not be available anywhere else at any price.
Yeah, you just got to recalibrate the ECU for that.
Yeah,
You know, so rev matching isn't impossible.
right. I could tell you without driving it what a Spider RS with a stick would be. That wouldn't be a new experience for me. Like it would be a cool thing that they could sell and people would buy them. And I think it would be probably for a lot of people the more desirable option. But like, I could tell you without driving one, I could write you the review of that car right now. Whereas I could not write you a review of a manual 458. I have no comparison.
Yeah.
So that's why. Ride Country Night School.
That's good. I like that one. Yeah.
That's where fucking so many of my friends ended up.
Really? Is that like
Not
a detention
literally.
joke?
No. It's like it's actually
Fancy
funny
jail?
that I spent whatever 12 years there and no one ever made that joke. It's funny that never came up as an actual joke.
Yeah.
The joke is I went to Rye Country Day School was my high school, and middle school and high school. But no, they really had a habit of kicking people out for things for not having good enough grades or for getting too many detentions. For like really minor stuff, they would kick you out. And so everyone ended up, for the most part, just fine, even those who got kicked out. A lot of them would fail upwards. They'd get kicked out and end up at Choate or Deerfield. That legit happened all the time.
They're diluting the pool of students there.
Yeah.
Here at Rye Country Day School, we want to keep things high quality.
One of my homies got kicked out, ended up going to a boarding school in Maine called Gould, where they would go to class in the morning and fucking ski the second half of the day and snowboard.
That sounds
It was
great.
at Sunday River, the mountain in Maine. And he was in like competition level snowboarder. It was rad. It seemed amazing.
Yeah, that seems like a real fun
seemed
idea.
better. Yeah,
How was the education versus?
He turned out fine.
All right, great.
All right.
Then he won.
What is one car from history that you would make indestructible and have a brand new one right now?
Ferrari 355.
Sure. Yeah.
Is it the most expensive Ferrari to maintain? And
It's not.
one of.
I think the F50 and the F40 are a little more.
Okay, that's true.
But it's third to that.
And for being a quote entry level Ferrari,
Yeah.
it's costs are
Insanely
insane.
expensive to
Yeah.
maintain. That would be a great one. That would be a F355 GTS, Euro steering wheel, non-airbag, gated manual. Give me green over camel.
But yeah.
Yeah. All day. Roth V. Okay. My friends I go driving with in the mountains have a C7 Grand Sport, a 997 Carrera, and an M2. Looking to get a sports car to hang with them, around 400 horsepower, isn't ideally... Okay, wait. Does not want a Porsche, a BMW, or a General Motors vehicle. Under $75K. I see Shelby GT350R.
Yep. Took the words out of my mouth.
I see...
You can't go Supra because that's a BMW.
That's a BMW engine, right? I would say not GM.
Not GM.
because Cadillacs would be awesome, but Audi RS3 would be a fun one.
That's a real fun car.
Audi, I think that would be a lovely car.
Like a 2018 C63 AMG. Those are underrated as driver's cars.
Yeah. The
one we drove from Carbon
the
was amazing.
The Performance Pack S1 was kick-ass.
Yep.
Yeah, those are a really good time.
Ooh, can you get
coupe, sedan, convertible? Pick one.
Yep. Can you get AMG GTs for $75,000 now?
Oh, probably. Early ones, maybe an S. You definitely need an S. You don't want a base, but like
early ones look really good. I like the grill better.
You might be able to get into an R8 for $75,000. It's gonna have miles on it.
Yeah,
a lot of miles on it.
It'd be an early one also. F-Type.
Yeah,
V6
F-Type
supercharged
R.
F-Type Manuel or F-Type
$75,000 gets you the nicest F-Type R on the market.
You'll be the loudest car in the group.
That's what you want. An F-Type R would be the right choice to hang with this crowd. You'll definitely have the loudest car.
Yeah.
You'll have the most horsepower. The later ones have all-wheel drive if you are worried about a short wheelbase car. The earlier ones have rear-wheel drive.
They're spicy.
Those are very spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm at. Just the Tiptronic. Ah, that's good. Did you see the news that the California DMV is seeking a 30-day sales suspension for unrealistic autopilot full self-driving claims? Is that true? Is that a story? The DMV is looking, meaning like you can't buy a Tesla for a month in California? That would be hilarious.
I bet they're saying that Tesla can't sell the self-driving feature. That's my guess, but I'm going to look at it right now.
Okay. Yeah, that makes probably more sense. But it would be funny if Tesla actually saw a consequence for anything. I don't think it will happen. Certainly not under this administration. Let's see.
But now that
30-day Tesla sales suspension. Oh, wait. Okay. California alleges that the largest EV manufacturer is misleading. Well, yes, that is true. Oh, yeah, the DMV is angling for a 30-day suspension of the automaker's license to sell EVs in California while the courts hash out whether fines or retribution should come next.
Wow.
Well, I mean, they haven't been convicted yet. That would be the punishment if they are, if
California gets this
not
through.
Convicted, but if the judgment is levied against them.
Right. So it wouldn't just be the feature; it would be the car. Is what they're seeking.
Yeah.
Is what they're seeking. And then CNET's like, what does it mean for you? It's like, you'll have to look at other cars.
That means you can't buy a Tesla. Yeah, okay. That would be very funny. I'd like to see that. I don't think it'll happen under this administration.
Made in California,
Yeah,
sold elsewhere.
Yeah. Just the Whistle Tip says that I've brought up negotiations and the dealership model being challenging for some consumers. What would your realistic ideal be for the market? How do we have fair consumer protection and economically viable ways for OEMs to move units? Dude, I have never sat and thought about how I would fix the dealership model. I mean, I think a very robust and impartial system of regulation, could be put into place, but I don't think that would really happen anytime soon. Obviously, you can't interfere with a company's ability to make money, but it's not like the direct to consumer model is better. People feel like it's better because they don't have to haggle.
Right.
But that doesn't mean the price isn't. They're not always getting the best price. It's moving all over the place. So I don't really know.
I don't know the solution either. I would like a world where if you and I both go into a dealership 1 hour apart, our price for the same car is the same thing.
Yeah.
And I know that regional prices have to change because that's supply and demand, that's economic differences, et cetera. But if we live in the same place and if you haggle better or worse than I do and our price is different, that's what I think sucks.
Yeah.
So the dealership can set the price to whatever they want, But this negotiation thing that has to happen, it's probably one of the only industries that it happens, and it's because it's been built into this. It's the practice for decades and decades, so it's hard to unwind it.
And the Ford store up the road here is competing against the Ford store in Santa Monica and the Ford store in Sherman Oaks and whatever for your business. They're not all just Ford dealers. They're standalone businesses that are competing with each other, not with other car makers. So, I mean, unless you had like all factory owned, I mean, look, the fact is people are more satisfied with Tesla and Rivian's model that doesn't have that. Even if that doesn't necessarily mean they're getting the best price, their experience buying the car that way, people don't complain about it, to me, the same way they complain about dealers. So
what
maybe
do they say?
it's better.
They say when you meet someone, people don't always remember what you said, but they remember how you made them feel. So if they go to the dealership and they feel like they got fucked, or the salesman is aggressive, or I'll talk to my manager. If they don't make you feel like you're getting a good price, you can only. It's hard to go up. Hard to feel better. Yeah. But if the price is just on this thing, you hit this app, you go, that's what it is. I accept that that's what it is, and then they're going to feel better about that experience.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe it's true that direct to consumer and non-franchise model is better because the consumer is happier, even if it's not necessarily financially better for many people.
Sure. Or the listed price is the price. Like, grocery stores in different areas might have different prices, but the tag is there, and that's what it is. But it's the whole well, we could do a little something.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's true. Two people who buy a Tesla on the same day are getting the same price.
Right.
But a lot of people were trying to sue Tesla for buying cars, and then Tesla dropped the price a bunch, like within a couple months, instantly devaluing their residual by like a ton. So like people do still get mad when Tesla changes the price, even though the two people who went in on that day might have paid the same price.
True. I think those are different things, though, right? Different situations.
I mean, there may have to be, a regulation that says you can only change prices by this much from 1 month to the next. But I don't see how that would ever get through an American capitalist Congress.
I agree.
Aiden Squires says, I'm biased. I'm biased for wagons and sedans over SUVs, but at this point it feels like the X5 M is a better car than the M5 Touring. It's lighter, more focused, looks better, and is more practical. Which car do you think provides a better value? Probably the X5, honestly. I don't have much argument for that. But I think the X3M has a much better value proposition than either of them. Woolly thought car? That's pretty funny. I've seen new EV chargers marked down into the 30s. When your car depreciates 40% before you even test drive it, that might be seen as a problem. How does Dodge come back from this when their other cars are a rebadged Alfa no one wants and a Durango so old it could be classified as a Tusk? Well, that's a problem. I would say that is a huge problem. I mean, Ram is bringing back the V8. Their customers did not want 6-cylinder trucks, and they're bringing it back. And I think they have an incredibly friendly government that has just determined that the fines for breaking cafe rules will be 0. So don't be surprised if the fucking Hellcat's back, baby. Hellcat 2.0 is probably in the works.
I mean, the Chargers were discounted even before that was announced because they just weren't selling well. And once that happened, I mean, that might be the nail in the coffin for it for a long time at least.
Yeah. Should my dick trickle?
That's a good one.
That's all right. Just picked up a film camera, and I want to start shooting cars. Tips for film recommendations for shooting cars. Well, just like the cars you're shooting, you should want the film to be sufficiently high speed, particularly if the cars are going to be moving, if you're shooting action. If it's shooting cars in a car show in broad daylight, you could go with 100 ISO or even 50 ISO if you want very rich colors. But if you're going to be shooting cars moving on a racetrack or on a road, then you probably want 400 or 800 ISO film, particularly if you're going to be doing it at golden hour, so you can actually get that light get that film exposed to the light rapidly. I don't have the answer to off-pista. Maybe somebody in the Patreon comments can answer them. They want to know if they want a manual Ford Bronco, but it only comes with the small motor. If I get it, will I not regret getting the larger 6-cylinder engine with the auto? I've never driven a 4-cylinder Bronco, so I don't know.
I think I did on the launch. I mean, yeah, it's a lot weaker, but if off-piste main purpose is, doors off, beach wagon, teach your son or sons to learn to drive a manual transmission, I think that's more valuable than having a more powerful engine. Like it's a beach car, you're cruising, it's fine, and it's not like a performance vehicle. So if everything else about the Bronco, if you like everything else about the Bronco other than that engine, then get the manual and be happy and teach your kids to drive.
Yeah. D-Shum911, thoughts on the newer style PDK shifters in the GT cars that try to mimic a manual look? Is that true? I don't know if they try to mimic a manual look. I think it's the shifter from the old 6-speed or 7-speed gearbox that the GT cars use.
Yeah, so I think that's what they're saying. Instead of having the,
have
silver
the
one with the button and stuff, now it's like it does look. It's like the same exact shape, and they print the little yellow letters on top.
Maybe it is trying to mimic the look. I don't really see it that way, but okay, fine. They want to put one in your Cayman GTS 4.0, or is it kind of poserish? Yeah, no, it's poserish. It's one thing if Porsche sells it that way. It's another if you try and use it to like mimic that. I would say it's poserish. I think you should leave it.
If he has a PDK car, then
should he change out the PDK shifter?
I think if it looks good, I don't care. It's like changing the steering wheel because you think the shape is fine.
Yeah.
So if make sure like the print matches, like, I don't know, sometimes Porsche matches font to font, and there's a reason they chose one versus the other. But if you like the way it looks, if you can Photoshop it or see someone that's done it, go for it. It's just an aesthetic thing. Yeah. Make sure the shifter works, though.
I think there's a reason Porsche did it that way.
Just make sure like all the computer chips work.
Yeah. Houthi PC small coupe.
Funny.
Could you put a gated manual in any car and achieve the same effect, or is there something special about the cars that were built for them?
Good question.
Well, yes and no. I mean, there are people who have engineered gated shifters for Miatas and other stuff, and you do get that clack, clack, clack that's like pretty satisfying. But at the same time, a lot of the cars that have gated manuals from the factory are like pretty exotic experiences to begin with, and it's part of the overall package. And if the engines, revs, and the throttle, and the clutch pedal, and the weight of the flywheel, and the timing of everything is such that going through the gates at exactly the right speed results in exactly the right rev matching here and there, and it all feels right and cohesive, that's something you're not guaranteed to get by converting another car to manual.
Or gated, yeah.
To gated.
I'd also say that there's something about like the springs and bushings in gated Ferraris I've driven that's unlike any other manual. Even if you took the gate off, like the click-clack is there, but there's a sensation to the action that you could not replicate. Yeah.
Let's see. Christian, last one, and then we have to go. Is Goodwood Festival of Speed worth going to or best viewed on YouTube? Considering going next year, and would like to hear about the logistics of getting there and where people stay. Is it worth going to? I mean, I suppose, like, that depends on what level of hardship it would take you to get there. If you're the kind of person that regularly does like car vacations, I think it's a good opportunity for a car vacation. It's a fun weekend. There's a lot of cool cars, and those cars aren't just on display. They're like ripping up the hill.
Yeah, and you can walk around so many of them in the paddock. Like you can be 4 inches away from like some of the rarest, most incredible cars on earth.
Yeah. and it's a lot of fun. There's plenty of available food and beverage. It's pretty well organized. There's you get a parking pass and there's parking. You could get a caravan or an RV and you could stay on site in an RV spot. There's it's in kind of the middle of nowhere, so there's not a lot around. I mean, we stayed in one of the closer hotels and it was still a 15 or 20 minute drive. So. Yeah, if you're really going to go, I mean, book your hotel or Airbnb or whatever situation, early.
Yeah.
And you also need to make sure you get a parking pass, not just tickets. Otherwise, you're fucked. Or there might be shuttles from other places. I'm sure there are.
Probably.
But you just want to be able to go and leave whenever you want, probably.
I thought it was
It's
a cool
fun.
thing. If you either live in that part of the world or you are traveling there anyway, timing it, I think it's really fun and special. The driving part, watching the cars drive up the hill is cool, but you only see them for a tiny moment. So, because this person asked, is it better to experience it on YouTube? YouTube, you don't get to walk around the cars. You don't get to see all the famous people and the drivers hanging out. I think it's worth going to. I think it's pretty special.
Yeah, you can you're bumping heads with people, with real legit legendary drivers and stuff. But I wouldn't fly to there just to do it. I would do it as part of a bigger trip.
Yeah.
Sorry, we have to end this one at 90 minutes. I have some work obligations I have to do before we go to Texas. Hopefully that went well, Zach. We'll save the rest. We'll save the rest of the questions for another show, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.